Our progress report says we are at stage 5, paragraph page 360. Okay, last headword was reflexive pronoun. New work
Yes.
type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with our revision. Okay, let me just scroll down. 360. Okay, here we go. First question. When do people use the word sir and madam? When do people use the word sir and madam? People use
People
the
use
word
the
sir
word
and madam
sir and
to be
madam
polite
to
when
to
they
be
are
polite when
speaking
they are
to their
speaking
customers
to
in a
the
shop,
customers in a
their
shop,
officers in the
their
army,
officers in the
or
army,
their teachers
or
at
their
school.
teachers at school.
Greg, give me an example. Give me an example, please. Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me,
Can I
sir.
help you?
Can I help you?
Very good. When do we use the words gentleman and lady? When do we use the words gentleman and lady? We use
We
the
use
words
the words
gentleman and lady
gentleman and
instead
lady
of man
instead
and
of
woman
man and
when we
woman
want to
when
sound
we want
polite.
to sound
Sound
polite.
polite. Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Which of these
Which
two
of these
gentlemen
two
gave you the book?
gentlemen give you that book?
And will you ask
And will
that
you ask
lady her name,
that
please?
lady her name, please?
Very good. Okay, next, what's your title? What's your title? My title
My
is
title is Mrs.
Miss. Mrs. Very good. Give me an example of sir and lady used as titles. Give me examples of sir and lady used as titles, please. Some examples
Some
of
example
sir and
of
lady
sir and
used as
lady
titles
used
are
as titles are
Sir Paul McCartney
Sir Paul
and
McCartney
Lady Diana.
and Lady Diana.
Very good. Which two countries have the highest standards of living in the world? Which two countries have the highest standards of living in the world? Denmark and New Zealand.
Denmark and Switzerland
Switzerland have the highest standard
have the highest standard
of living in the
of
world.
living in the world.
I thought Philippines and Japan. Okay, now. What's the standard height for a man in your country? What's the standard height for a man in your country? The standard height
The standard
for a
height
man in
for
my
a man
country
in
is
my country is 1.7 meters.
very good. So 175. Very good. Okay, next. When do we use the expression would you say? When do we use the expression would you say? We use
We
the
use
expression
the
would you
expression
say
would you
when
say
we ask
when we
somebody
ask
for his
somebody
opinion
of his opinion
about something.
about something.
Very good. Would you say that the king's life was better than that of the average man? Would you say that the king's life was better than that of the average man? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'd say
I'd
that
say
the king's life
that king's life
was better than
was
that
better
of
than that
the
of
average man.
the average man.
Right, which tense do we use after the expression would you say? Which tense do we use after the expression would you say? We use
We
the past
use the
tense
past
after
tense
the expression
after the
would you
expression
say?
would you say.
Very good. What would you say was the best way to remember something? What would you say was the best way to remember something? I'd say
I'd
that the
say
best way
that the best
to
way
remember
to
something
remember
was
something
to repeat it
was to
often.
repeat it often.
Very good. If the sky looks dark and cloudy, do you sometimes decide not to go out? If the sky looks dark and cloudy, do you sometimes decide not to go out? Yes. If the
Yes,
sky
if the
looks dark
sky
and
looks
cloudy,
dark and
I
cloudy,
sometimes
I
decide
sometimes
not to go
decide
out.
that not to go out.
Right. When your shoes look dirty, what do you do? When your shoes look dirty, what do you do? When my
When
shoes
my
look
shoes
dirty,
look
I clean
dirty,
them.
I clean them.
Very good. Okay. Do we pay the driver when we get in a taxi? Do we pay the driver when we get in a taxi? No, we don't
No,
pay
we
the
don't
driver
pay the
when we get
driver
in a
when we get
taxi.
in a
We
taxi.
pay
We
when we
pay
get out
when we
of
get
a
out
taxi. Of a
of the
taxi.
taxi.
Very good. In your country, do you have to buy a ticket before getting into a bus? In your country, do you have to buy a ticket before getting into a bus? Yes or no?
No,
In my
in my
country, you
country,
don't have
you
to
don't
buy a
have to
ticket
buy a
before
ticket
getting on a
before getting
bus.
on a
You
bus.
can just
You
pay
can just
when you
st-
get on. You can just
you
pay
can just pay
when you get on.
when you get on.
Very good. How much is the bus fare from there, from your office to where you live? How much is the bus fare from your office to where you live? The bus fare
The
from
bus
my
fare
office
from my
to
office
where I
to
live
where I
is
live is about 200 yen.
very good. Okay. Has your country got a royal family? Has your country got a royal family? Yes or no?
Yes,
My
my
country's got a
country
royal
got
family.
royal family.
Very good. How do we get mud on our shoes? How do we get mud on our shoes? We get mud on our
We get mud
shoes by
on our
walking
shoes
in the
by
countryside
walking in the
in the rain.
countryside in the rain.
Very good. Our famous actors often surrounded by crowds when they go out in public. Our famous actors often surrounded by crowds when they go out in public. Yes,
Yes,
famous
famous
actors are
actors
often surrounded
are
by
often
crowds
surrounded by
when they
crowds
go out
when
in
they
public.
go out in public.
Are the buses in your town usually crowded in the morning? Are the buses in your town usually crowded in the morning? Yes or no?
Yes,
The buses
the
in my
buses
town
in my
are
town
usually
are
crowded in
usually
the morning.
crowded in the morning.
Very good. Have you ever been the captain of a sports team? Have you ever been the captain of a sports team? Yes or no?
No,
I've
I've
never been
never
the
been
captain
the
of a
captain
sports team.
of a sports team.
Very good. Tell me the name of a famous sea captain. Tell me the name of a famous sea captain, please. The name of a
The name
famous
of
sea
a
captain
famous sea captain
is Captain
is
Cook.
Captain Cook.
Very good. Which is the widest street in the place where you live and which is the narrowest? Which is the widest street in the place where you live and which is the narrowest? ABC Street
EPC Street
is the widest
is
street
the widest
in the
street
place where
in the
I live.
place where I live,
And
and
123 Street
123
is
Street
the
is
narrowest.
the narrowest.
Very good. What color is the flag of your country? What color is the flag of your country? The flag of
The
my
flag of
country
my
is
country is red and white.
very good. Do you know the origin of your national flag? Do you know the origin of your national flag? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
the
the
origin of
origin
our
of
national flag.
our national flag.
Very good. Name an animal that lives on grass. Name an animal that lives on grass, please. A horse
A
is an
horse
animal
is an
that
animal
lives on
that
grass.
lives on grass.
What happens to grass if there's no rain? What happens to grass if there's no rain? If there's no rain,
If there's no rain,
grass becomes yellow
grass becomes
and
yellow
then it
and
dies.
then it dies.
Very good. Where is the nearest tower to the place where you live? Where is the nearest tower to the place where you live? The nearest
The
tower
nearest
to the
tower
place where
to the
I live
place where
is
I live is Tokyo Skytree.
tower. Very good. Okay, are the streets dry when it rains? Are the streets dry when it rains? No, the
No,
streets
the
aren't
streets
dry when
aren't
it
dry
rains.
when it
They're
rains.
wet.
They're wet.
If you walk into the rain without an umbrella, what did happen? If you walk in the rain without an umbrella, what did happen? If I walk
If
in
I
the rain
walk in the rain
without an
without
umbrella,
an umbrella,
I'd get wet.
I get wet.
If you got wet, what did you have to do with your clothes? If you got wet, what did you have to do with your clothes? If I got
If
wet,
I got wet,
I'd have to take
I'd
my
have to
clothes
take
off
my clothes off
and hang them
and
up
hang
to
them
dry.
up to dry.
Very good. What's the passive throw? What's the passive throw? The passive
The past
throw
of
is
throw
throw.
is through.
What did happen if I threw a stone at the window? What did happen if I threw a stone at the window? If you threw a
If you
stone
threw
at
a
the
stone
window,
at the
the
window,
window would break.
the window would break.
Very good. If your TV is turned up too loud, what do you do? If your TV is turned up too loud, what do you do? If my
If my
TV is turned
TV
up too
is
loud,
turned up too
I
loud,
turn it
I
down.
turn it down.
Very good. What are the reflexive pronouns? What are the reflexive pronouns? The reflexive
The
pronouns
reflexive
are
pronouns
myself,
are
yourself,
myself, yourself,
himself, herself,
himself, herself,
itself,
itself,
oneself,
oneself,
ourselves,
ourselves,
yourselves, and
yourselves,
themselves.
and themselves.
Very good. When do we use a reflexive pronoun? When do we use a reflexive pronoun? We use
We
a
use
reflexive pronoun
reflexive
when the
pronouns
subject and
when the
object
subject
are the
and
same
object
person
are the
or
same
thing.
person or thing.
Is it right to say I look at me in the mirror? Is it right to say I look at me in the mirror? No, it isn't
No,
right to
it
say
isn't right
I
to
look at
say
me in
I
the
look
mirror.
at me in the mirror
Why not? Why not? Because the
because
subject and
the
object
subject
are
and
the same
object
person.
are the same person.
What must we say instead? What must we say instead? We must say
We must
I
say
look at myself
I look at
in the
myself
mirror
in the
instead.
mirror instead.
Okay, do you think it would be easy for me to teach myself Chinese? Do you think it would be easy for me to teach myself Chinese? No, I don't
No,
think
I
it
don't
would
think
be easy for you
it would be easy for
to
you
teach yourself
to teach
Chinese.
yourself Chinese
Why not? Why not? Because Chinese
because
is a
Chinese
difficult
is a
language to
difficult
learn.
language to learn.
Reggie, did you wash yourself when you were a baby? Did you wash yourself when you were a baby? No, I
No,
didn't wash
I didn't
myself
wash
when I
myself
was a
when
baby.
I was a baby.
My mother washed me.
My mother washed me.
What did you do if you saw a man trying to kill himself? What did you do if you saw a man trying to kill himself? If I saw a man
If if I saw a man
trying to kill himself,
trying to
I tried to
kill
stop him
himself, I try to stop
or
him
call the police.
or call the police.
Megan, have you ever seen a bird washing itself? Have you ever seen a bird washing itself? Yes or no?
No,
I've never seen a
I've
bird
never seen a bird
washing itself.
washing itself.
Do you think one can teach oneself a language? Do you think one can teach oneself a language? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think one
I
can
think one
teach
can
oneself a
teach
language.
oneself a
Well,
language.
what do we carry to protect ourselves from the rain? What do we carry to protect ourselves from the rain? We carry an
We
umbrella
carry an
to
umbrella
protect
to
ourselves
protect
from the
ourselves
rain.
from the rain.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work. Okay, very good. Repeat. Thorough.
Thorough,
Thoroughly.
thoroughly,
Very good. Okay, listen. Thorough is an adjective. It means complete. For example, people generally give their houses a thorough cleaning in spring. Thoroughly is an adverb. It means completely. So thorough means complete. Thoroughly means completely. For example, if we jump into the sea, we'd get thoroughly wet or completely wet. The kind of things that make me thoroughly tired are hard physical work, studying a lot without a break, not enough sleep, etc. Let's practice. What does the word thorough mean? What does the word thorough mean? The word
the
thorough
word
means
thorough means
complete.
complete.
Greg, in which season of the year do people generally give their houses a thorough cleaning? In which season of the year do people generally give their houses a thorough cleaning? People generally
People
give their
generally
houses
give their
a thorough
houses
cleaning
a
in
thorough
spring.
cleaning in spring.
Very good. If you jump into the sea, would you get thoroughly wet? If you jump into the sea, would you get thoroughly wet? Yes. If
Yes,
I
if
jump
I
into the
jump
sea,
into the
I'd
sea,
get
I
thoroughly wet.
get thoroughly wet.
Very good. What kind of things make you thoroughly tired? What kind of things make you thoroughly tired? The kind of things
The kind of
that make
things
me
that make
thoroughly
me
tired
thoroughly
are
tired
hard physical work,
are hard physical work,
studying a lot
studying a lot
without a break,
without a break,
not enough sleep,
not enough sleep,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Let's repeat accident.
Accident.
By accident.
By accident.
Very good. If you listen, accident is a noun. For example, a car accident. If I drive a car on the left hand side of the road in America instead of on the right, I'd have an accident. I've seen an accident on the road. By accident means by chance, without being planned or mistakenly. For example, if I took something by accident that didn't belong to me, I'd return it. Let's practice. If you drove a car on the left hand side of the road instead of on the right, what did happen? If you drove a car on the left hand side of the road instead of on the right, what did happen? If I drove
If
a
I
car
drove a
on
car
the left hand
on
side
the left hand
of the
side
road
of the
instead of
road
on the
instead
right,
of on the right,
I'd have an accident.
I'd happen I'd have accident.
I'd have an accident.
I'd have an accident.
Megan, have you ever seen an accident on the road? Have you ever seen an accident on the road? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've seen an
I've
accident
seen an
on
accident
the road.
on the road.
If you took something by accident that didn't belong to you, what did you do? If you took something by accident that didn't belong to you, what did you do? If I took
If I
something
took
by
something
accident
by
that
accident
didn't belong to
that
me,
didn't belong to
I'd
me,
return it.
I return
Yeah,
it.
I'd return it. Very good. Okay, next repeat. Careful,
Careful,
careless,
careless,
carefully,
carefully,
carelessly.
carelessly.
Very good. Okay, listen. Careful is an adjective. It is giving serious attention to what you are doing in order to avoid harm, avoid damage, or avoid mistakes. For example, we must be careful when crossing the road. We must look both ways to avoid an accident. Careless is an adjective. It is the opposite of careful. Carefully is an adverb. It means in a careful way. For example, I write and speak carefully. Carelessly is an adverb. It is the opposite of carefully. For example, my sister dresses the most carelessly. Let's practice. Do people become careless when they're in great danger? Do people become careless when they're in great danger? No. People
No,
don't become
people don't
careless
become
when
careless
they're in
when
great
they are
danger.
in great
They
danger.
become very
They
careful.
become very careful.
Do you write carefully? Do you write carefully? Yes or no?
No,
I don't write
I don't
carefully.
like
I
carefully.
write carelessly.
I like carelessly.
Very good. What could happen if you were careless when crossing the road? What could happen if you were careless when crossing the road? If I were
If I
careless
were
when
careless
crossing the road,
when crossing the
I
road,
could have an
I could
accident.
have an accident.
But of all the people you know, who dresses the most carelessly? Of all the people you know, who dresses the most carelessly? Of all the people
Of
I
all the
know,
people I know,
who
my my sister
dresses the most carelessly?
dress
One
most
more.
careless.
Of all the people I
Of all
know,
the people I
my
know,
sister
my
dresses
sister
the
dresses
most carelessly.
the most carelessly.
Yeah, so it means no fashion. Very good. Okay, next repeat. Own.
Own,
We're gonna listen. Own is a verb. It means okay, that one. Yeah. It means to have or possess something, to own. For example, this pen is mine. Or I could say I possess this pen. Or I own this pen. I own all the clothes I'm wearing. I'd like to own a house more than anything else. I don't know who owns the place where I live. Let's practice. Do you own all the clothes you're wearing, or do any of them belong to somebody else? Do you own all the clothes you're wearing, or do any of them belong to somebody else? I own all
I
the
own
clothes
all the
I'm wearing.
clothes I'm wearing.
Well, what would you like to own more than anything else? What would you like to own more than anything else? I'd like to own
I'd like to own my house
more than anything
more
else.
than anything else.
Who owns the place where you live? Who owns the place where you live?
Uh,
Uh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
I
who
don't know
owns the
who
place where
owns
I
the
live.
place where I live.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Carry on.
Carry on.
Retire.
Retire.
Very good. Okay, listen. Carry on is a phrasal verb. It means to continue doing something. Carry on. For example, people in my country don't usually carry on working after they reach the age of 65. They stop working. Retire is a verb. It means to stop work at the end of your working life. For example, people in my country stop working when they reach the age of 60. Or we can say people in my country retire when they reach the age of 60. Let's practice. Do people in your country usually carry on working after they reach the age of 65? Do people in your country usually carry on working after they reach the age of 65? Yes or no?
No,
People in my
people
country
in my
don't
country
usually
don't
carry on
usually
working
carry on their
working
working
after they reach
after they
the
reach
age of
the
65.
age of
They
65.
retire.
They retire.
Very good. Next, repeat prize.
Right.
Very good. Okay, listen. Prize is a noun. For example, if you won a game, a contest, you would get a prize. I've never won a prize for anything. Let's practice. Have you ever won a prize for anything? Have you ever won a prize for anything? Yes or no?
No,
I've
I've
never won a
never
prize
won a prize
for anything.
for anything.
Very good. Next, repeat do.
Do.
Very good. Okay, listen. To is an adverb. It means also or in addition to. For example, I want some chocolates and she wants some too. Let's practice. Give me a sentence with the word to meaning also. Give me a sentence with the word to meaning also, please. He wants a biscuit
He wants a
and
biscuit,
I want one
and
too.
I want one too.
Very good. Next, repeat at least.
At least.
Very more at least.
At least.
Very good. Okay, listen. At least is used to emphasize that something is good in a bad situation. For example, it's a small house, but at least there's a garden. He didn't do very well in the exam, but at least he passed. At least also means not less than. For example, I've asked him at least 6 times, and each time he has forgotten. Okay, so let's practice. Give me a sentence with the word at least in it. Give me a sentence with the word at least in it, please. I've asked him
I've
at
asked
least
him
six
at
times,
least six
and each
times,
time he
and
has
each time
forgotten.
he has forgotten.
He didn't do very
He
well
didn't do
in
very
the
well
exam,
at the exam,
but at least he passed.
but at least it passed.
He passed.
He passed
Very good. Let's repeat widely.
widely.
Very good. Okay, listen. Widely is an adverb. It means in a lot of different places or by a lot of people. For example, one of the most widely used English adjective is nice. English is the most widely spoken language in the world. Let's practice. Which is one of the most widely used English adjectives? Which is one of the most widely used English adjectives? One of the most
One of the
widely
most
used
widely
English
used
adjective.
in
English
English
adjective
English
is
adjective
nice.
is nice.
Very good. In English, is English the most widely spoken language in the world? Is English the most widely spoken language in the world? Yes,
Yes,
English is
English
the most
is the
widely
most
spoken
widely
language
spoken
in the
language
world.
in the world.
Very good. Okay, now let's move on to our reading.
Okay.
Okay, so our reading is at stage 4, paragraph page 226, irregular verbs. Okay, please start reading at page 227. Seventh question. Did you feel cold last summer? Stage
Oh,
4, 227.
227.
Seventh
Okay.
question. Did you feel cold?
Did you did you feel cold last summer? No, I didn't feel cold last summer. I felt hot. Did you hear me say good morning to you at the beginning of the lesson? Yes, I heard you say good morning to us at the beginning of the lesson. What did I hold in my hand last lesson? You held your pen in your hand last lesson. What did you bring with you to the lesson today? I brought my books with me to the lesson today. Where did you buy your clothes from? I bought my clothes from clothes shop. Did you go to the pub last month? No, I didn't go to the pub last month. Who was the last person you shook hands with? My friend was the last person I shook hands with. What did I say to you at the end of the last lesson? You said goodbye to us at the end of the last lesson. Did you think the last film you saw was a good one? Yes, I thought the last film I saw was a good one. Did you think English pronunciation was difficult when you first began studying English? Yes, I thought English pronunciation was difficult when I first began studying English. Did your parents teach you to wash and dress when you were a child? Yes, my parents taught me to wash and dress when I was a child. Bicycle, motorbike, bike. Which is quicker, a bicycle or a motorbike? A motorbike is quicker than a bicycle. What's a bike? A bike is either a bicycle or a motorbike. Mistake. Did you make any mistakes in your last dictation? Yes, I made some mistakes in my last dictation. Do you ever mistake the word walk for walk when you hear it?
Very good.
Yes, I sometimes mistake the word walk for walk when I hear it.
Mhm.
Listen, hear, news, radio station all the time. What am I doing? You are listening to something. I am listening, but can I hear anything? Yes, you can hear something. What can I hear? You can hear the cars in the street, etc. Did you hear the news on the radio yesterday? No, I didn't hear the news on the radio yesterday. How often do they give the news on the radio each day? They give the news about 3 times a day
3 times on the
on
radio.
uh, 3 times on the radio each day. Do you listen to the same radio station all the time? No, I don't listen to the same radio station all the time. Ill, well, a cold, medicine. Do you ever feel ill? Yes, I sometimes feel ill. Do you take medicine when you feel ill? Yes, I take medicine when I feel ill. When was the last time you felt ill? The last time I felt ill was 1 year ago.
Very good. Okay, so we stop there for today, but